Alright, y'all, so I'm back with another video. I'm hoping today actually I can make a gaming video, but I just don't know what I want to play, so it might be like a Mortal Kombat or maybe, just whatever I can stream, then I'll stream that. But we're gonna start right here because I already read this page yesterday or last night, I think. So now we're on Deuteronomy 11, page 159. So let's just start. I'm gonna just read 2 pages today because I gotta help set up not an air purifier, whatever it is, like an air conditioner. So we're just going to do this page and then the page after it. So I'm going to set my phone down. I'll set it down on this page, actually. I just ate my breakfast, so sorry about that. You yourselves were foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and worship him and cling to him and take others by his name alone. He is your praise and he is your God, the only one who has done mighty miracles you yourselves have seen. When your ancestors went down into Egypt, there were only 70 of them. But now the Lord your God has made you as many as the stars in the sky. You must love the Lord your God and obey every one of his commands. Listen, I am not talking now to your children who have never experienced the Lord's punishments or seen his greatness and his awesome power. They weren't there to see the miracles he did in Egypt against Pharaoh and all his land. They didn't see what God did to the armies of Egypt and to their horses and chariots, how he drowned them in the Red Sea as they were chasing you, and how the Lord kept them powerless against you until this very day. They didn't see how the Lord cared for you time and time again. Throughout all the years you were wandering in the wilderness until your arrival here, they weren't there when Dathan and Abraham, the sons of Aleb, descendants of Reuben, sinned, and the earth opened up and swallowed them, with their households and tents and all their belongings, as all of Israel watched. But you have seen those mighty miracles. How carefully then you should obey these commandments I am going to give you today, so that you may have the strength to go in and possess the land you are about to enter. If you obey the commandments, you will have a long and good life in the land that the Lord promised to your ancestors and to you, their descendants. A wonderful land flowing with milk and honey, for the land you are about to enter and possess is not like the land of Egypt, where you have come from, where I'm not too sure what that word was, but is necessary. It is the land of hills and valleys with plenty of rain, a land that the Lord your God personally cares for. His eyes are always upon it, day after day throughout the year. And if you will carefully obey all of his commands that I am going to give you today, and if you will love the Lord your God with all your hearts and souls and will worship him, then he will continue to send both the early and late rains that will produce wonderful crops and grain, grapes for your wine, and olive oil. He will give you lush pasture land for your cattle to graze in, and you yourselves shall have plenty to eat and be fully content. But beware that your hearts do not turn from God to worship other gods, for if you do, the anger of the Lord will be hot against you, and he will shut the heavens. There will be no rain and no harvest, and you will quickly perish from the good land the Lord has given you. So keep these commandments carefully in mind, tie them to your hand and remind you to obey them, and tie them to your forehead between your eyes. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you are sitting at home, when you are out walking at bedtime, and before breakfast. Write them upon the doors of your houses and upon your gates, so that as long as there is sky above the earth, you and your children will enjoy the good life awaiting you in the land the Lord has promised you. If you carefully obey all these commandments I give you, loving the Lord your God, walking in all his ways, and clinging to him, then the Lord will drive out all the nations in your land, no matter how much greater and stronger than you they might be. Wherever you go, the land is yours. Your frontiers will stretch from the southern Negeb to Lebanon, and from the Euphrates River to the Mediterranean Sea. No one will be able to stand against you, for the Lord your God will send fear and dread ahead of you wherever you go, just as he has promised. I am giving you the choice today between God's blessings or God's curse. There will be blessings if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I am giving you today, and a curse if you refuse them and worship the gods of these other nations. Ooh. When the Lord your God, change the page. When the Lord your God brings you into the land to possess it, a blessing shall be proclaimed from Mount Gerizim, and a curse from Mount Ebal, are mountains west of the Jordan River, where the Canaanites live, in the wasteland near Gilgal, where the oaks of Moreh are. For you are to cross the Jordan River, live in the land the Lord has given you, or is giving you, but you must obey all these laws I am giving you today. These are the laws you must obey when you arrive in the land which Jehovah, the God of your fathers, has given you forever. You must destroy the heathen altars wherever you find them, high in the mountains, up in the hills, or under the trees. Break the altars, smash the obelisks, burn the shameful images, cut down the metal idols, and leave nothing even to remind you of them. You must not take sacrifices to your God just anywhere, as the heathen sacrifice to their God. Rather, you must build a sanctuary for him at a place he himself will select as his home. There you shall bring the Lord your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tiles, your offering presented by the gesture of waving before the altar, your offerings and your offerings of the firstborn animals of your flock and herds. There you and your families shall feast before the Lord your God, and shall rejoice in all he has done for you. You will no longer go your own way, as you do now, everyone doing whatever he thinks is right, for these laws don't go into effect until you arrive in the place of rest the Lord will give you. But when you cross the Jordan River and live in the promised land, and the Lord gives you rest and keeps you safe from all your enemies, then you must bring all burnt sacrifices and other offerings to his sanctuary, the place he will choose as his home. You shall rejoice there before the Lord with your sons and daughters and servants. Remember to invite the Levites to feast with you, for they have no land to their own. You are not to sacrifice your burnt offerings just anywhere. You may only do so in a place that the Lord will choose. He will pick a place in the territory allotted to one of those tribes. Only there may you offer your sacrifices and bring your offerings. However, the meat you eat may be butchered anywhere, just as you do now, with gazelle and deer. Eat as much of this meat as you wish, and as often as you are able to obtain it, because the Lord has prospered you. These are ceremonially defiled. Wait, what? Those who are ceremonially defiled may eat too. The only restriction is that on the ground, wait, what? You are not to eat blood. Wait, what? Oh, you are not to eat the blood, pour it out on the ground like water. But none of the offerings may be eaten at home, neither in the tenth of your grain, and new wine and olive oil, nor the firstborn of your flock and herds, nor anything you have vowed to give the Lord, nor your free will offerings, nor the offerings presented to the Lord by waving them before his altar. All these must be brought to the central altar where you, your children, and the Levites shall eat them before the Lord your God. He will tell you where the altar must be located. Rejoice before the Lord your God in everything you do. By the way, be very careful not to forget about the Levites. Share with them. If when the Lord enlarges your borders, the central altar is too far away from you, then your flocks and herds may be butchered by your own farms, just as you do now with gazelle and deer, and even persons who are ceremonially defiled may eat them. The only restriction is to never eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the with the meat. Instead, pour the blood out upon the earth. If you do, all will be well with you and your children. Only your gifts to the Lord and the offerings you have promised in your vows and your burnt offerings need to be taken to the central altar. These may only be sacrificed upon the altar of the Lord your God. The blood will be poured out upon the altar, and you will eat the meat. Be careful to obey all of these commandments. If you do what is right in the eyes of the Lord your God, all will go well with you and your children forever. When he destroys the nations and the land where you will live, don't follow their example in worshiping their gods. Do not ask how do these nations worship their gods and then go and worship as they do. You must not insult the Lord your God like that. These nations have done horrible things that he hates, all in the name of their religion. They have even roasted their sons and daughters before their gods. Obey all the commandments I give you. Do not add to or subtract from them. Okay. That's where I'm gonna end it off right now. And honestly, it is getting a lot better. It's not, it's not so dark anymore, but there's still, I know for a fact that the book of Job is pretty dark, but that has a lesson, and all of this is a lesson for all of us. So as I'm reading, I'm going to try to keep pointing out whatever lesson I can find, and I think this one is just the lesson of trying to obey God and trying to do what is right in front of Him. And it even says to share with your neighbors, share with people that you do not know, share with the Levites, share with your fellow nations, whatever it is, So I'm going to leave it off right there. I'm on page 161, Deuteronomy 14, and I'll come back tomorrow and I'll read the rest. I'll read hopefully I'll read more than 2 pages, but, later on today, maybe I'll go outside, and if I do, I'll bring my New Testament, and I'll make a video on that as well, and then I'll try to make a video on whatever game I'm playing today with my homie Mitchie, and I'll just see whatever I can record. So, hopefully I'll make a video out of that, and then maybe I'll edit it later on tonight. But God bless you all. I hope you all have an amazing and beautiful day, and I hope you all go outside and enjoy what God has given you. So peace out. Thank you for watching. Peace out.